Hi guys, I wanted to make a tutorial for you about how the unit plans will work for this class. First off, let's just start with some basics on my formatting and organization. At the top, you will notice a period for every unit that we do. In APUSH, we don't call them units, we call them periods, and we have 9 of them. So period 1 is from 1491, so pre-Columbus, to 1607, which is the founding of Jamestown. Covers a lot of information in a short amount of class time that we spend on it. Call this unit Three Worlds Meet because while a lot of times we think about Europe and North America coming together, also Africa also becomes a part of this three worlds kind of colliding together. The next thing I just want you to notice is this box right here. You can see that you have 2 investigations for this unit. Now I assigned both of these investigations as summer homework. So those other 2 packets you picked up are both summer homework and the readings for them are on the Google Classroom. The unit exam for this whole unit will be on Monday, August 19th. 2019. So every time when we start a new unit, you will know when your unit test is, and you will know kind of what we're doing, what the outline is for each of the sections or investigations in the unit. Just as a reminder though, on Friday, the second day of school, you guys will have a chapter 1 test based on the information you read in chapter 1 of your textbook, just to kind of make sure you did a thorough job on your summer homework. All right, continuing on this unit plan, you'll see that there's 2 learning objectives that are kind of overarching, encompass the whole unit. First is I can explain the context for European encounters in the Americas from 1491 to 1607. So that's learning objective A. What I'd like you to do is come on over here to the self-assessment side, and on the first line, you're going to put 0 through 5. 0 being you have no idea about any of this. You have no knowledge at all. 5 being you know it so well you could write an essay off the top of your head and you think it'd be a pretty nice essay. So just self-assess yourself where your knowledge is at this point. It's perfectly acceptable to have a 0 on that line. There's no problem with that at all. This is before you've done any work for my class or any reading. Next to it, you're going to just put the date in which you're doing the self-assessment. The bottom ones down here leave blank. That I'll have you fill out the weekend before you take your unit test. Hopefully there's some growth in there. If you're still at a 0, then you know you have some studying to do for the test, the next Monday. So this is just kind of the idea, is just to kind of be thinking and preparing yourself for your test, but also being aware of what you're expected to learn in your unit. Learning objective G, go ahead and take a look at that and then fill out the self-assessment up here. If you need more time, go ahead and just pause this little tutorial along the way. I'm just going to kind of keep going through it. So next we come to the key concepts. Usually there will be 3 key concepts for each unit, but this is kind of a short content unit. So we will just have 2, which is why we have 2 investigations. So when we have 3 key concepts, we'll have 3 investigations, which is all the rest of the units except the very last one. So I also lay out for you what topics we're going to be covering in each investigation. So investigation 1 is pretty short. The bulk of it is in investigation number 2. So the first key concept we're going to just look at briefly and then spend most of the time on key concept 1.2. All right, and then we get to the part that I do need you to do before you come to school in August. And in fact, this is the part I'd like you to start with before you start the investigation. And this is a schema activity where you are just looking at some things and telling me what you already know about them. Again, it's perfectly acceptable if you don't have a lot of knowledge at all about any of these topics, because at this point, I would have liked you to have done this before you did any reading or any thinking about the unit. So go ahead and fill out what you know about Native Americans, Christopher Columbus, and American geography at this point. You don't need to be super specific, but be as specific as you can. So if you can name Native American tribes, go for it. You can name a movie where you saw Native Americans or they played a role, go for it. Whatever you can put down, go ahead and jot down, because in a schema activity, we're just trying to activate your mind around a topic. So just kind of get things going. All right, when you get to the next part here, the only part that's required of you on this part is the self-assessment of learning objective B. So go ahead and take a moment and read that and then fill out again 0 through 5. 0 meaning no knowledge, 5 meaning you could write an essay off the top of your head, and then go ahead and date it. Okay, after you've done that, go ahead and skip to learning objective C. Do that for me as well, the top row. Remember, leave the bottom one blank. Go down to learning objective B. E, F, and then G we started with because of how I have my things formatted. Okay, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to scroll all the way back to the top. So again, what you need to have for Friday when you come to class is you need to have the self-assessment on all of the learning objectives, A through G, so these two and then the ones throughout. And you also need to have topic 1.1 completed. That's the minimum requirement. You guys will have a whole week to, more than a week, to finish the rest of this. If you want to work on it as you go, that's fine. After you do topic 1.1, I would switch gears, work on investigation number 1. After you complete investigation number 1, come back and complete these questions. You can use your investigation to help you, but try your best to kind of do it based on your knowledge and then go back to your investigation and add to it or answer if you weren't able to. In this column over here, you're going to put the source for this information to help you answer the question. So you can put the article. I'd put also the paragraph. If it's in your textbook, put the page, maybe the section title, whatever. You want to be as specific as you can. The reason for that is before your test on Monday, you will be expected to know all of this stuff. And if something is drawing a blank, you can easily go back and reread that part. Obviously, we're not spending a super long time on this unit. Some of our units are a month. So this would be really helpful for you. Also, you will have a fall final and a spring final. So when December rolls around, you're not going to be, the stuff won't be very fresh. So you might have to go back to the article and reread it if you need a refresher. So that way you know where it's at. So again, the rest of this is all optional. You can work on it if you want. If you don't, that's fine too. Topic 1.3 is in second investigation. So do the second investigation first and then come back to topic 1.3, 1.4, etc. Okay, don't go on to these topics until you've done the investigation first. You want to do the learning, and then this is to kind of summarize or look at it in a different way. So that's really important. All right, please let me know if you have any questions. Send me a text on Remind, and I will do my best to answer any questions you guys have. Thanks so much.